to our Washington Persuasive speech. Just imagine there's something that you've always wanted in this world and you're promised you can have it. But then suddenly that promise is broken. This is what happens with many cases for open adoptions involving adoptive and birth parents. In many of these cases, birth parents are either excluded from the adoptions, they're canceled out their visitation rights, and usually adopted parents may not give a reason, and this is the case for many states across the country. This issue really hits close to home for me because my cousin is involved in an open adoption dispute. He had a child out of wedlock, and he had decided to do adoption with his girlfriend. An adoptive family thought it was great and everything, but then suddenly, one day, the adoptive family decided to close contact, and now my cousin has no contact with her son. So this issue hits very close to home, and also for many people across the country. Great. And this is the case for many states. And also this causes many discrepancies, accusations to arise between birth parents and adoptive parents, as you can see with the case of my cousin. And by implementing a law that requires all of these states to enforce these agreements, will pacify these issues. According to Rifford's report in 2012, only 26 out of 50 states actually have these enforceable open adoption agreements. This means that 28 other states don't have anything to protect these birth parents and adoptive parents in these agreements. Things usually cannot get better for these families if there isn't any contract or any legal agreement binding these families together so that these kids will be able to grow up in good homes and also with very substantial adults in their lives. And most of the time also this can arise with different problems with these adoptive families and also birth parents. As you can see, many trust issues are involved, blame is being put around, and there isn't really a solution coming to these problems. And by implementing a law that requires all 50 states to have open adoption agreements, this will be made to pacify these issues. And with these issues, and as you can see, there are many states over here, as I put up, so making sure that you guys can see that all of the states, like this is a huge majority of the number, that all of them have to agree to this. And according to North Carolina's state constitution, North Carolina only offers open adoption agreements in legal cases. So basically, North Carolina doesn't have any open adoption agreements that are really enforced. And as the state constitution states, permanent agreements are by mutual consent. The agreement of itself shall not be enforced. So this means that North Carolina will not get involved with these issues, and this is a big problem. If your state that you're living in is not enforcing these issues, there are no solutions that can be made, and you may be on the outs if you are the birth parent. And another quote by Michelle M. Hughes, which is a Chicago adoption attorney, quoted in America Adopts, open adoptions do work. In my practice, I've seen the biggest frustrations when the birth parent is grieving and wants more contact, and the family is either sleep deprived, doesn't know what to do, is overwhelmed, and isn't as generous as they should be. There has to be a solution to fix this problem. By implementing this law, many benefits can be for the parents, the child, and also the adoptive parents. As you can see with the birth parents, there is a sense of comfort in knowing that your child is growing up safe and in a loving home. You're able to develop personal relationships with the family, and also you're able to have just a comfort, just knowing that your child is safe. And according to the AmericanAdoption.com 2014, the birth mother, Denisha Wood, was quoted, "He is mine in a way that he will never be hers, yet he is hers in a way that he will never be mine. And so together we make motherhood." And as you can see with these laws that can be enforced, they'll be able to be a connective bridge to these families. And as you can see, there has to be more parents and more people involved in these issues. And there are also benefits for adoptive parents. They have access to birth records, medical records, so they have a sense of knowing where their child is coming from, what's their medical history. And also this eliminates the fear of the unknown of the parent, in quote unquote, coming back to get the child. So they're able to know this child is theirs and it won't be taken away from them. And there's also knowledge, which is just common, of like knowing their name, their address, and where they live. And also there are benefits for the child, as I was saying. It establishes a sense of identity, also establishes a sense of connection and belonging. And as you can see, there are many positive aspects to implementing this law, but there are also a lot of people that do not agree with it and see that as an infringement upon state laws and also state rights. An infringement of states' law rights, which has been quoted in the U.S. Constitution, is in the 10th Amendment. The powers not delegated to the U.S. by the Constitution, nor prohibited to it by the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or the people. So this means the states have powers and rights to delegate if they want a law to be enforced in their state or not. And this is a case going on with 28 states. There's still many conflict and controversy going on. Open adoption agreements need to be enforced. They're able to put families together, bond new relationships, and also to create safe environments for children to grow and also to be connected with their families. To leave you with this quote, we should not be asking, who does this child belong to, but who belongs to this child? We need to put the children first. They are our future. In the case of my cousin, we also need to be able to come to an agreement so that everybody is involved.